Okay, awesome. So in this module, we're going to be going over a little bit more about attraction marketing and actually how we can utilize organic content into actually making more sales and really building a long-term customer value where, let's say they don't even buy from you for the first 1, 2, 3 months they see you, but they keep seeing your content every single day. And with all of the marketing approaches you're doing, right, at some point they end up becoming a customer of yours and actually a customer of yours for a long time and actually buy into your full ecosystem, right? So in order to do this, at the end of the day, there's really 3 main sorts of content that we'll like to do. The first is going to be lifestyle, right? So it's kind of photos of you, right? Then it's going to be some sort of actual kind of value add here. I like doing different like lessons, different value pitches, kind of like showing like transformations, right? So it's like, hey, I used to be here and then I ended up hitting this goal, right? And then we'll also have value. So we'll have a free training, for example. We have this hack to hit high ticket, right? Whatever it is. And then we have additional sorts of content. We also just implemented Reels, and these are a fantastic way to really start growing and building up a more organic audience. What's cool too is that a lot of these Reels can actually be repurposed for content over on YouTube, right? So this one's like, everyone says Facebook ads won't work, for example, and then I give a reason how they can work, and that's really just the systems that are needed on the back end, right? So putting content together like this and then having specific call to actions is going to be a great way to start driving a lot of traffic in to your DMs, into your comment sections, everything like that, right? So the general framework for how we want to position every content piece is offering value, right, for the target audience, and then have some sort of call to action, right? So for example, this post would be like, hey, I'm looking for 5 more business owners, coaches, or consultants looking to systemize their business and build a lead acquisition machine. Comment 100K if you want to be our next 100K a month success story, right? Now, another example post would be, hey, I spent $75,000 on mentoring lawyers, employees, and contractors in the last 6 months. Here are my biggest takeaways, right? And then I actually have additional slides here. So you see I have the check. So I mean, there was additional value there, but then also I give the biggest takeaways, right? And I'm like, hey, if you're afraid to spend money and like other risky things, you'll never be able to grow. Surround yourself with people that are in the position that you want to be in, right? Otherwise you'll find yourself going backwards. Intuition is key. If something feels off, 97% of the time you'll find yourself correct. And then always be learning, read books, etc., right? And then just comment the words free course if you want our exact 7-figure framework to crush this year. And by getting people to opt in and say the words free course, they're actually embracing the idea of you reaching out to them, which in turn means they're likely to be interested in the services that you provide, right? And your number one goal of producing or publishing content is to actually get people to start a conversation with you and then run them down your sales process. So if you remember, right, in module 1, we're really focused on building out that offer. In module 2, though, right, we're really focusing on the attraction marketing side of things, right? Now, the attraction marketing side of things is really interesting because in this particular case, right, we're really just trying to get other people to be like, oh, this guy's actually legitimate, right? So this can either be from them coming to your page organically, or when you're doing the outreach to them, you seem a lot more credible because they come to your page, they're like, who is this guy? Curiosity kills the cat, right? Or curiosity, in this case, right, potentially gets the sale, right? So setting that up is a really solid way. And another really big thing that we like doing is actually addressing our prospects' objections in the content that we put out, right? So the most common thing that you'll run into when closing a sale will actually be the objections expressed by some of your prospects, right? Some of these may be, hey, price is too much. I don't know what you do. I need to talk with my partner or spouse about what your service is. I'm afraid to invest in myself because I've been burned before. And at the end of the day, these are all objections that we hear every single day. I mean, we talk to hundreds of people, right? So whatever the objection is, you can actually reduce pushback from your prospects on the end of sales calls by actually addressing these objections before the call even happens with the prospect. So I actually go over all of the objections, right, for people not wanting to invest money, or why it's hard to start a business, right? Or how like they don't believe that we can take them to $100,000 a month, right? So all the content we put out literally addresses all of those objections. Now, here's a really good example copy, and I'll be putting this in the course content down below, so you can literally just copy paste this. But what's really cool is that we have this pretty simple framework. So we have the caption and headline, then we have a relatability to the prospect. We then relate to a pain point, and then we tie this into a personal story, and then we put the knife into the pain, right? We then go into the gap in what I had. Now that I have XXX solution, right, here's the success, and then we have a call to action, right? So in this case, we're going to start here, and this is going to be some sort of caption. So it'll be like, hey, $10,000 a month gets their the eyeballs, right? And the goal of each line here, right, is to get them to read one more line. So once they say $10,000 a month, then it'll be like every business owner, when they start, has this dream of hitting the $10,000 a month mark. It's like the mecca in the online advertising world. If you're able to do $10,000 per month, it means you're a 6-figure earner right away, or at least I thought so, right? Making $10,000 a month one time is cool and awesome, but if you can't duplicate the process month after month, what's even the point, right? So this is a big pain point that a lot of people in the space deal with, right? So that's a pain point. When I was first starting my business, I was able to do $10,000 per month a few times, right? But it was so hard to stay consistent, right? And this is even with some of our clients, right? They're doing 50,000, 20,000, 30,000, whatever it may be per month, but they're super burned out, right? And it was very hard to stay consistent. So I'd falter the next months, only doing 3 to 4K, and then I'd downward spiral. It felt like a never ending push upwards. However, it doesn't have to be this way, right? Once I hired a mentor and coach, I realized what I was missing. I didn't have the proper material to nurture my leads, book them into calls, and follow up with them, and actually get them to close and pay me cold hard cash, right? I didn't actually have the right systems in place to truly win. And now I know that with one flip of a switch, we can get more leads flowing into our business, right? So we dig the knife into the pain, right? And then we're like, okay, here's the gap of what the prospect's probably dealing with, what I dealt with, right? And then we're like, okay, now that we have this new solution, the systems, right? We know that with a flip of a switch, we can get more leads flowing into the business. And more deals close to our pipeline means more success, right? So don't get stuck in the rut of not knowing where your next client's coming from. If you're struggling to land new clients or don't have a consistent method of driving in new sales, then comment the word 10K and you'll learn exactly how we get clients just by flipping a switch, right? So that is the general breakdown of actually addressing the prospects' objections, right? And then also over here, right, really just how to set up your organic marketing approach. And we're really actually implementing all of this content over on YouTube channels, TikTok channels. We're just starting Twitter as well as a few other platforms, but you can really repurpose this content to be used on pretty much anything, right? So hopefully that helps, and I'll see you in the next module. We're going to be going over our funnel frameworks and how you can actually plug and play that into your own system. Cheers.